Good afternoon, YouTube. How's everybody out there doing today? First things first, I just want to thank everybody for all the birthday love I received this weekend. My birthday weekend has been legendary, and the day of my birthday as well. So thank you to each and every one of you that wished me a happy birthday. And even if you didn't, and I mean, I know I flooded your timeline on all my platforms. So thank you anyway for checking me out. But y'all know what time it is. Like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with all your peers.
What, big beat.
Okay, jumping right into this vlog. This vlog today is going to be a special edition. Today I want to talk to you guys about the importance of chasing your dreams and why it's important right now to chase your dreams considering the times we are in this world. Okay, so growing up, the question is always going to be, what do you want to be when you get older? What are your goals? What are your plans? But how many of you can honestly say that you've stuck to your very first goal or your very first plan when someone asks you that question? Like, just take a moment and think about that. Well, it's okay if you didn't stick with your plan because that was me once upon a time ago. When I was a kid, my goal was to always be a DJ, and eventually one day I told myself, you can be a DJ, you just need to do your research, do the investment, and get yourself out there. But as I eventually got older, I realized this isn't a promising career and it's way too competitive, and I don't think that's what's best for me. So I buried that plan, and being a chef has always been like something that I've been wanting to be ever since a kid. I don't know what it is or where my love for food came, but it's just always been something that I've been saying ever since I was a little boy. So now the inspiration comes behind this episode because the times we're in this world, it's so important that you stop what you're doing and make sure you're chasing your dreams and goals, because who knows what this Ukraine situation or what this pandemic is going to lead to. You know, we're 3 years into COVID and still there's no cure. There's vaccines, there's boosters, but what has all that shown us in the end? That this is all temporary and we're back to putting on the masks. I mean, even though right now where I'm currently staying, there isn't a mask mandate, I don't truly believe we're officially done with COVID just yet. But that's enough rambling for now. Let's stay on subject. So why is it important to have a plan and stick with it? Why is it important to chase your dreams now? Some of y'all might wonder that. Well, let me explain it to you. As we all have the same 24 hours in a day, 7 days of the week, you know, are we really using that time to chase our dreams and do it the right way? Ask yourself that. I can honestly say that 10 years ago when I was in high school, though these days I took the most serious, because people would always ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do after high school? And I always said I want to be a chef. Unfortunately, the type of place I come from, there isn't a culinary school. We did have culinary classes at my high school, but we didn't have an actual culinary school. So I had to basically relocate to Atlanta after I graduated, and my school didn't even have employee housing, well, dorms as they say, excuse me. So here I am happening to figure out what am I going to do after college as far as where am I going to live and how am I going to chase my dreams. So I made the commitment to myself, no matter how hard it sounds or how difficult it is, chase your dreams and make this happen. And here I am today. I'm a certified sous chef. I do YouTube. I'm a music producer. I'm about to become an actor. So to get to where I am, none of that stuff happened to me overnight. I had to basically tell myself, is this what you really want? Stick with it. So today I'm telling you guys, it's so important to stick with a plan, because one day that plan will work out and you'll be chasing your dreams before you know it. But of course, there's nothing easy in life. Nothing that you do is going to happen overnight. Nothing that gets handed to you, or I'm sorry, nothing that gets offered to you is going to last. Fast money goes quick. So with that being said, are you willing to have sleepless nights? Are you willing to work long hours? Are you willing to go ghost to do what it is to make your dreams happen? Well, That's what you have to do in order to become successful. And it's so important that we do this now because let's be real, you guys. Who knows where we're going to end up in 2 years from now? The way this country is going, the way this world is, tomorrow's not promised. So today, I'm encouraging each and every one of you to make sure you chase your dream. I mean, just look around you. One minute we're taking these masks off, then the next minute we're putting them back on. Then jobs are asking you to get booster shots. Jobs are telling you that if you don't get a vaccine, that you can't work for them, which I think is discrimination in a way. But I mean, just look around. The world is not what it used to be 10 years ago. And in those 10 years that I've been on my road to success, I've seen it all. So let me take y'all back. I graduated high school in 2014, and honestly, I could just say 2014 was probably one of the best years of my life. One, I graduated high school. Two, I went to prom, and that was also the year that I started my journey on going to culinary school to become a chef. Now, when I got to culinary school, everything didn't happen easily. It's just like any other school. You have to read, you have to do work, do homework, tests, exams, and if you ask yourself, is this worth it or am I wasting my money? And when I got there, I was blown away. I'd never been part of something so rewarding and something so interesting, and I've never been a part of something that I really, truly felt proud of myself for signing myself up for. Because when I got there, I told myself, you stuck with a plan. In 2 years in, the year's 2012, I was constantly asked that question when I went to the Boys and Girls Club, and everyone would always support me and tell me, in order to become a chef, there's a lot you have to work on. You have to work on creativity, your personality, knowing what the people want, and most of all, just being different. So in those 2 years, I worked on that, and it finally got me to that moment of being in culinary school. And I had to ask myself, wow, like I really did this. Like no matter what nobody said or how anybody felt about me chasing my dreams, like I didn't listen to them, because truth be told, my road to success and on my journey, it hasn't always been positive. I've lost a lot of friends, family, and I've even lost people who I thought I would still have in my corner to this day. But looking back on all of that right now, would I do it all over again? Absolutely. So to anybody out there that feels like you have a dream and someone's stopping you, the only person stopping you is yourself. Because you need to ask yourself, what am I doing to make this happen? Where do I see myself 5 years from now? Do I see myself still sleeping at my parents' house? Do I see myself just being another statistic, another person that got caught up in some mess and now my mugshot's getting shared on all social networks? Or do I want to be somebody, which is why I have the name I have? So I always used to tell myself, you are who you are for a reason, but become the very best become the very best version of yourself. And I can honestly say every year since 2012, I have progressed. So jumping right back into 2014, I get to culinary school. Everything's, awesome. I'm having a time of my life. And then I started working for this job that, nothing fancy. I was working at Dunkin' Donuts / Baskin Robbins. It was walking distance towards my house, but I could take the bus there, and the bus would go straight to my school, because the way Atlanta is set up, it's really beneficial to get a job that's close to your home, but it's also beneficial to get a job that's close to your school as well, because if you're going to balance going to school and work every day, it's very important. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, when I was working for this job, I remember the guy that interviewed me, because what I did was I showed up in my chef coat, and that's a little cheat sheet for you guys. I've mentioned this in my Chick-fil-A video, but if any chefs out there, if you ever show up to a job interview in your chef coat, ironed down, pressed, looking nice, 9 times out of 10, you'll get that job. I mean, I didn't go for a chef job, obviously, because this is Dunkin' Donuts, but I really presented myself in a professional manner, and it got me the job. So moving on, as I get situated into this job, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I noticed there's this lady that comes in, and she wasn't the lady that hired me. I'm guessing she was the manager or whatever. But this lady was very, I'm gonna try not to cuss in this video, but she was very female dog like. But for some reason, I just always kind of felt like she didn't really like me, and she was always out to get me. And most of all, she just was mean to me for no reason. Like, she was the type of manager, when she get under pressure, she'll tell you, I'll write you up, like stuff like that. And I remember just thinking like, okay, I just started this job. Why the hell do you have something against me? Like, why are you trying to write me up already? But anyways, so anytime you get a job, you guys, let me express to you guys, uh, whenever a job hires you, it is so important to tell them your availability. Like, be honest with them. If you have a second job, try to work around your second job. Or if you're just not going to be at that job much longer, tell them like, I want to go full time, whatever. But it's very important to communicate with these jobs what you want when they schedule you. So I remember specifically telling them that I wanted to work the morning shift, like specifically 6 in the morning till 2, 7 to 2, something in that range, because every day I had class from 3 o'clock till 7. So you get where I'm going with this. I'd rather work in the morning than go to school. And most of all, I wanted to work around my schedule. I think I requested Tuesdays and Thursdays be my days off, because those are two important days for me at the time. So as the job gets started, I noticed I'm getting like 4 days on the schedule. But at the time also, I had another job too. But this particular job was only temporary. It was like a staffing job. So it didn't really matter, because some of those work days weren't guaranteed. But anyways, long story short, as the weeks started to go by, I noticed like some of my coworkers who I started with were starting to leave very quickly. And so were the people that were helping us build the store, because it was a brand new store I was working for. So I just remember my days started to shrink, and it went from 4 days to 3 days to eventually 2 days and 1 day on the schedule. And one particular instance, I think this was around February, maybe January, but I like to remind you guys, I got this job like around Thanksgiving of 2014, and we opened the very next day for the first time. And I was working there since day one, from November to I'm gonna get to when I quit. But anyways, I had been there since day one. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I had been working there for up until January, and I just noticed my days was getting shorter and shorter. So eventually I go to the owner and I'm like, hey, I want to bring some to your attention. I feel like the boss doesn't like me because I'm not getting no hours. And what she'll do is she'll put me on for 1 or 2 days, and then I don't come back until like almost a week. And I don't feel like I'm learning anything. But there's another thing that she was doing that I thought was kind of strange. Whenever somebody would call in that she would schedule a lot of hours to, she would call me right away, and basically I would take their shift. And that kind of happened frequently, like, because eventually people show their true colors when they don't want to work. And basically these people were basically showing her to her face like, screw this job, I don't need it, but here you go, not giving me hours. So then this one Tuesday, I actually had something to do. I couldn't remember exactly, but I was in culinary school at the time. And anyways, I see my manager calling me, and I was like, hello, what's going on? She's like, hey, Daquan, can you come in today? And I told her, I really can't. I have to do something for school. And I remember she was like, are you sure? And I said, yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I can't make it today. And anyways, like, why are you calling me to come in when I'm not scheduled? And she basically told me, well, because I forgot who it was, called in, and we really need help. Like, so can you come in? And I told her, I'm sorry, like, I can't come in. And I don't even remember what I said, but she hung up on me. And I just remember from that day on, it went from 1 to 2 days to just 1 day. And eventually she just started to be more and more meaner to me. Okay, so jumping back into it, yeah, so the next week I go back to work, and once again I'm on the schedule for like 1 or 2 days. But here's another part of the story I didn't mention to you guys. So me and my roommate at the time worked at the same place, and we went to the same school, and basically we had the same exact work schedule and school schedule. So, common sense, like we're probably going to be working together. At least that's what I thought. But I noticed she started giving my roommate more hours than me. And I wasn't being jealous or anything. I just went to the office and I was like, hey, can I ask a question? Like, is there a reason why I'm not getting hours? Why are you giving everybody else hours? And most specifically, why are you giving my roommate more hours than me? And we have the same schedule. And she instantly just blows up on me and is like, I feel like you're not taking this seriously. You make so many mistakes and you're never really here. But pause right there, you guys. So you sit up and say, I'm never really there, but you make the schedule and you're not giving me hours. So if people are constantly calling in and you're giving me their hours, why are you not giving me a chance and why are you still holding on to them? That doesn't make any sense. But after she said that, I just remember like saying, yes, ma'am. And I walked out the office and it really made me think like this lady real deal doesn't freaking like me because there's no way in heck, like, I'm not doing my job because I'm a hard worker. Like my success speaks for itself. I don't have to, I don't have to explain myself. Like my achievements are out there. Like I've literally did everything I could to get to where I am. But anyways, so I brushed that off kind of, and then I go back to work. And then the next day, I remember I had got real cool with this guy at the night shift. And I am going to give you a shout out to this. Shout out to my brother Lotto in Atlanta. But I remember I talked to him about it because this particular day, I think I picked up someone's night shift and he was working there. And I was like, yo, bro, I was like, how do you like working 5 days a week? Because he was actually working 5 days a week and he had 2 days off. And he was like, it's good, bro. But, I get burnt out because I go to school and work every day. And I was like, well, the thing is, like, I go to school and work every day. And I feel like our manager doesn't like me because why you keep giving me 1 and 2 days on the schedule when it started off with 4? And on top of that, this isn't my availability I asked for. Like I asked for Tuesdays and Thursdays off and I asked to work like 6 to 2. And she kind of just give me 7 to 2, like 2 days out the week. And then when someone calls in, I'm taking over their shifts and that's not fair to me. And he basically gave me the idea. He was like, bro, he was like, if you suspect something, I would call corporate because she's basically, I forget the word he used, but mishandling her employees, or in other words, discriminating me. But I don't understand how you're discriminating your own kind because, she's black just like I am. But I listen to what he say and I get back to work and the next week comes and once again, I'm on the schedule for like 2 or 3 days and I kind of just brush it off again. But at this point, I'm kind of frustrated because I'm witnessing everybody like take home. Okay, jumping back into it, I started witnessing everybody take home like big checks, and here I am getting these funky $115 checks. So once again, I'm just like, okay, I don't know what to do. So I kind of started applying for other jobs. And I remember this so vividly. This was around this is interesting time and I'm doing this video. This was around 7 years ago, which was happened to be leading up to my birthday week. And normally what my roommate would do is anytime the schedule would drop, if they didn't send it in the group chat, they would always text me. And this particular day, I was kind of planning for my birthday because, it's your birthday week. Of course, you're going to get ready and have a nice, weekend coming up. So long story short, I'm minding my own business, going to Lenox Mall, and I notice my roommate calls me, and I immediately pick up. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And they're like, yo, Daquan, I got to tell you something, but, you just got to promise me you won't freak out. And let me just start by saying never tell someone that, because whenever you say don't freak out, they're probably going to freak out. But I kind of listened to them and I was like, okay, what's going on? Like, I've already dealt with enough with this job. What is it? And they was like, you're not on the schedule next week. And instantly I go, like, have I been fired or what? They was like, well, I overheard Christy tell Bree that you're not on the schedule and basically she'll call you if she needs you. And I was like, oh, really? But originally what my roommate had told me was that I was on the schedule, and it's just that eventually I guess we had hired somebody new or something, and they took my name off. And once they looked at the schedule, they saw that I wasn't on there and they called me right away. So after I'm listening to that, I was like, okay, well, thanks for letting me know. I'll be up there shortly. And basically what I was telling my roommate is I'm about to lose my mind and go off on this lady. So I leave Lenox Mall. Basically just trying to listen to music, be calm, prepare myself for me to step out of character. And finally, I get to the Dunkin' Donuts, and my homeboy Lotto's there, and he's like, "What's up, Daquan?" I'm like, "Hey, bro, like it's about to be a show." And he was like, "Okay, let me step back." So I come in with like my arms crossed over, and I was like, and my manager sees me, I was smiling. She's like, "What's up with you?" I said, "I'm here to get my check, but I also need to know why I'm not on the schedule next week." And then she just basically started off with this BS excuse talking about she felt like I don't take the job seriously and that I'm always playing around and stuff. But first of all, let me remind you guys something. I literally bust my ass at these jobs. I don't play around. Yeah, you're gonna make mistakes. Like it's coffee and donuts, but you're literally have something against me, and you're just trying to sweep it on the rug, and you think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. I know when someone has an issue with me. I know when I'm being played. I know when somebody's trying to play me, and this is exactly what this lady was doing. Like she basically made it seem like I wasn't doing my job and I was BSing, but why am I still on your schedule? Obviously you still got some type of hope for me. So I listened to her talk, and then I ain't gonna lie, I'm cursing her out, and I'm just telling her like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like your day is gonna come, like yada yada yada. And basically, I guess all my coworkers kind of heard about it because the next day, my roommate gets to work, and that's all they're talking about. And like one of my coworkers made the comment to her like, "You do Daquan so wrong. Like you need to give that boy a chance," and yada yada yada. And then my birthday comes, and I actually have to work on my birthday, you guys, and basically, she tells me to comment, "I gave you 2 extra days. I am seeing improvement." And I just told her thanks. And then she was like, "You seem moody today." I was like, "Well, it's my birthday and I really don't know if I could trust you." And she tried to give me a hug, and I told her, "Please don't touch me." But anyways, let me explain to you guys why it is so important to speak up in life and why it's so important to trust when something's not right. This particular manager was the most narcissistic, fake, stealing manager I've ever had. She literally was taking our tips, and when you're a manager at Dunkin' Donuts, you're not supposed to get tips. She was editing the times we clocked in, and then she was stealing hours from the people. Like, you know how I just mentioned how she was only giving me 1 and 2 days a week? Well, she never really tampered with my hours, but it was the others that she was messing with. And I know for a fact, like, there was one of my homies that was supposed to hit overtime, and he ended up only having 38 hours on his check, and that's because she went and edited the payroll. So then there's this other manager, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I wasn't exactly the coolest with this guy, but he could spot from a mile away there was some funny business going on. This guy, I guess, went through the computer and went through the paperwork and discovered that she had been paying him the wrong wage, and she had been not paying him the correct hours. Like basically one day she put that he worked 16 hours when really he only worked 8, just so he couldn't hit overtime. So eventually that guy called corporate, and an investigation went on. And guess what happened, you guys? Somebody got fired. And guess who it was? The person that told me I'm not doing my job and I need to take it more serious. This same person was stealing from the company, lying about our hours, and quote unquote saying stuff like, "Oh, uh, that's not really the hours. You guys don't really be leaving at 10:30 at night." Well, let me remind you guys, whenever you close a restaurant down, the guaranteed time that you're supposed to clock out is not going to always be accurate, because sometimes, you get those last minute customers and you still have to clean up the restaurant and stuff, and that type of stuff is going to cause you to have a time delay. So she would literally change the times we clocked out, and he noticed it because one night we stayed till like almost 11:45, and she went and put that we got out at 10:30. Like, you took a whole hour and 30 minutes away from us just because you didn't want us to get overtime. So yeah, she ended up getting fired, and that person's name is, I don't really like to say slander people, but her name was Christy Allen. And basically, she fucked us all over, you guys. Excuse my language, but she literally did everything you could think of. She was, whenever they would get a drop for the bank to deposit the money, she would literally go in there, change the deposit, and pocket the cash, shortening for the restaurant, making our checks smaller. And the crazy thing is, like, this was my very first like real job in Atlanta, because the other job I worked for was just like freaking, what's it called? I don't know, like an on-call job, a staffing job where, you know, you accept the gig, and they weren't really consistent. So this was the job I like officially had when I got to Atlanta, and she scammed the hell out of us. And on top of that, like, she had some type of resentment towards me that she never brought to my attention. And I don't know to this day what it is, but had I not spoken up and listened to my homeboy, I wouldn't know where I'd be right now, because I went from getting those $115 checks to getting $400 checks. And remind you guys, we got paid every week. I mean, not that that's you guys' business or anything, but every week check, that's a big transformation. So I thank my homie for encouraging me to speak up, because it really motivated me in my life, and it got me to where I am. Because had I not spoken up, who knows how much longer I would have put up with that BS. So I want to share this story with you guys today, because I want to express to you how important it is to speak up and chase your dreams. Because if you don't do that stuff, how are you going to get what you want out of life? How are you going to get what you want? How are you going to be happy if you don't take care of yourself first? And that manager, yeah, she kind of hurt me, and she did me wrong, and she made me struggle at times. But I am glad I went through that, because it taught me, you know, no matter how hard life may seem, it will get better. And eventually we did get another manager, but she wasn't no better. Like, she was the type of manager that would get under pressure and take it out on us, because her personal life wasn't the best at home. So she would come and take it out on us. And one particular day, me and her had words, and I told her, like, basically, you better be happy my family doesn't live down here, because, well, let me just end it right there. But yeah, just always speak up, you guys. Seriously, don't let nobody run you over. Don't let nobody do you dirty. Don't let these jobs scam you. And that's what's going on in this world. These jobs are finessing, scamming, and taking money from you. Don't let them. So here I am 10 years later on my road to success, encouraging each and every one of you to please chase your dreams. And most importantly, speak up if you feel something's not right, because your gut is not going to lie to you. I know I said that in my previous video, but let that sit in, seriously. So thank y'all so much for hearing me out. I'm about to head back to where I'm doing for my vacation, but thank y'all for sticking with me. My interview with Chef Sean is coming this Wednesday, Chef Torius. I hope you guys check that out. And most of all, keep liking, subscribing, and sharing my channel with all your peers. And have a great day.
What, big beat?